So today we're going to talk about how to control your online reputation and drive more sales for your roofing business. And so this is all part of, some of you know, and some of you have been on these already before throughout the year here, that this is part of our digital dominance method webinar series throughout the year. If you've missed any of them, you can check them out on our YouTube channel. So just go to YouTube and type in Roofer Marketers. You'll get to our channel and you'll be able to see past ones on SEO, best SEO practices, how to make your website convert as efficiently as possible, pay-per-click advertising, Google local services ads, your Google My Business. There's a ton of content on there, past webinars. So it's all part of this digital dominance method. And the concept behind the digital dominance method is that really you can't just do one thing these days, right? You can't just do SEO. You can't just do pay-per-click. I mean, you can find success in each, but an overall game plan of doing as many things as possible to get you on that front page of Google is what's going to deliver the best results to your business. So if we could have your attention, please, for this little bit of time here that we're going to spend with you. You know, I know we're all busy and, you know, it's Friday, you know, maybe trying to get those last emails out and trying to do that. But if you could turn off your cell phones, you know, turn off Facebook. You know, if you're a roofing business owner or a marketing director for a roofing company, you know, this is, and you're serious about getting better results in 2019 and going into 2020 here, you know, the next hour could be a real game changer and make a huge impact in that. So, you know, first we'll talk a little bit about what we're going to cover today. We're going to talk about the best tools that are out there for generating online reviews, you know, and how even having those best tools, you could still fail at generating reviews. I'm sure that a lot of you are already, you know, thinking, you know, man, we've tried these. We have a lot of these review systems and no one leaves us a review. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about tapping into the power of multi-channel communication with these clients, and, you know, through email, SMS, through physical, you know, texting, to increase your review count. So the best ways to do that. We're also going to talk about how generating online reviews for your company is a team sport. So you really got to get everyone to buy in on it, right? Your salespeople, you know, your field staff, you know what I mean? Everybody, the office staff, everybody really needs to buy in on generating these reviews to really put the best effort forward. And another part of these reviews is not just leaving them out there, right? Not just letting people review you, responding and acknowledging the reviews that you're getting. And so we're going to talk about that, you know, good, bad, or indifferent. So if you haven't been on a webinar, I see a few of you on here have been on past webinars and you know us pretty well. But, you know, for those of you that don't, you know, who are we and why should you listen to us? My name is Jim Aline. I'm the co-founder of Roofer Marketers. Along with me is Brian Niebler, the co-founder of Roofer Marketers. And we're the authors of Internet Marketing for Roofing Contractors, How to Triple Your Sales and Turn Your Website into a Lead Generation Machine. You can find that book on Amazon. You can go to our website and order it for free plus shipping. Check that out. We're active members of the NRCA. We're Better Business Bureau accredited. We work with business owners, you know, from coast to coast, you know, from Oregon to, you know, to the Carolinas, to Florida, to Texas, all across this country. And we're widely accepted as one of the premier digital marketing experts in the roofing industry. And a new announcement here is that I am also now the host of the Roofing Success podcast. So I wanted to share that with you guys real quick, and look out for that coming soon. First episodes will be released next week. So look out for that. And, you know, really, this is what we do all day long, right? We help roofing contractors generate more sales through their digital marketing efforts. That's the mission of our company. And we do that through education like this, through our webinar series, through our blogs, through our training guides on our website, through our YouTube channel, through all of our social media. Check out the big push on social media we're making. Check out our Facebook page, our Instagram. A lot of great content going out on the education side. Also, we do that as owners of a digital marketing agency, as we do this for, you know, for contractors around the country. So that's why. So first of all, let's talk about reviews and really why. Like, and I'd like some feedback. I know it, we don't want these things to get, too monotonous and boring, and it's funner for us on this side when you guys can participate and log in, and join in the conversation with us. So, let me ask you guys, why do you think reviews are so important to get for your business? Amanda, Anna, Garen, Kaylee? What do you think?
Throw some in.
Pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious that reviews matter for sure. That's how people search online, right? That's what it is. So the why is pretty relevant. It's pretty obvious to us in 2019, right? It might not have been so obvious in 2010 or 12, but now it's extremely obvious that online reviews and your reputation can make or break your company, right? That's the honest truth these days. Anna said, reviews give more people examples of our work, and that's true. And it's not just about your work, but the experience that the customer had with you, which is so important. So thanks, Anna, for that. They can make or break your company, right? A few bad reviews online can honestly, or a skewing of reviews online, right? There's always those people that don't have something good to say, the people that that are very difficult to please. And those are the most vocal, right? Those are usually the most vocal. So we want to get in front of that and make sure that we're getting the reviews from the people who maybe aren't as vocal because they're just satisfied with what you've done. So, online reputation sometimes does not reflect the top quality service that your company provides. Is there anyone on the webinar here who has had negative reviews and you're like, man, I don't even know how we got that review. Like, how did we even get that bad a review? I thought those people were happy. That was, we did a great job. The build went smooth. You know what I mean? The sales process went smooth. The build went smooth. They signed off on everything. We're good to go. And all of a sudden, this review pops up that you just can't control. So we want to make sure that you're focusing on this online reputation. And there are some, best customer tools out there, and a lot of companies are always investing in these tools, right? They're thinking that these tools are going to be kind of what's going to solve the problem of generating these reviews. Tools like Broadly, Bird Eye, Grade.us, Podium, ReviewBuzz, NearbyNow. There are so many of these services out there these days that it's even hard to differentiate who we should go, who you should go with. So, a lot of us have invested in all of these big tools, but we're still not driving enough reviews, right? So having negative reviews will drag down all of your other marketing efforts, right? You're going to waste conversion opportunities, and you're going to watch your competition, your customers go to the competition. So think about this, you're doing a build, you get a yard sign in, and the neighbors drive by and they see the name of your company, and they go home and they Google you, right? If you don't have a good reputation online, that's a missed opportunity. So it goes far beyond what we're, just, hey, let's get some reviews online. Far beyond Google, someone typing in best roofing contractor in your city and you showing up there. It goes down to those opportunities. It fails when you're, if your salesman is out there, they do an estimate, they give the customer an estimate, they leave the house without a signed contract. They're like, hey, we just need a day or two to think about it. We'll get back to you. What do you think they do when the salesperson leaves that house, right? One of the first things they're going to do is go online and look up your reviews. Go on and look at the reputation of your company online. So having a very little reviews or having a lot of negative reviews is going to directly impact every other part of the sales process in your business.
And even earlier in the marketing process, if you're spending money
Even
on
earlier.
advertising, you
Man,
know, Facebook ads, Google ads, um, you know, you better believe a lot of those people that are finding you for the first time, you know, even if they do submit that form the first time, they're going to go straight to Google and look up to
100%.
see what they're doing. So
Yep,
that's
100%.
money down the drain if you don't have good reviews.
Yeah, and so if you're running pay-per-click, as Brian said, you know what I mean? Some markets, you know, $25, $35 a click, spending that kind of money, and then somebody's going out and looking at your reviews and you have terrible reviews, you just wasted that $25, $35, right? So your conversion rates will increase dramatically from having a great online reputation. So that's really the opportunity that you have, right? There's an opportunity for you to accelerate past your competition and really, really become the provider of choice in your service area and stand out above everyone else. And what I find a lot of times that really amazes most people is, and most contractors, is you don't have to be the biggest and the best or not the best, but you don't have to be the biggest, right? Everyone thinks that the big guy's going to win this game. I've had conversations. I remember I had a phone call with a gentleman from Denton, Texas, and he was the largest roofing contractor in that area, or claimed to be. And you know, a lot of the other roofing contractors in the area had been employees of his at one point in time. He'd been around for 35 years. And we had this conversation. It's just like, why are these guys winning? How are these guys beating me? And we took a look at all of his stuff, and you know, first of all, he couldn't be found online. It was very difficult to find his company online. And then, you know, 35 years in business and he had 4 reviews, right? These other guys with 2-3 years in business, they had 35, 55 reviews. That's going to win out every time. And so when in getting reviews for your company, you want to leverage the tools that we talked about a little bit, the Broadleys, the Bird Eyes, the Gray.Us's, and to drive consistent online reviews. But they're just tools, right? They're not the end all solution to your, you know, to getting reviews for your business. So when a salesperson goes out to meet with a potential customer, right, you may be able to sell that customer prior to that salesman ever showing up. Sometimes prior to them even calling you by doing this, right? So have your reputation speak for yourself, speak for itself online. I'm sure that all of you on the call here, you know, have had referrals from past customers, and that's the easiest sale, right? It's simple because they already trust you. So if you can develop that trust online, you're going to be way ahead of the game. So become the go-to roofing company in your area. You know, rank your website accordingly, and then maximize your conversions, maximize your reviews. So, you know, the answer to this question is pretty simple, right? Do online reviews matter? Can I get a yes or in the chat there? Make sure everyone's still awake over here, participating with us. All right, thanks. So of course, online reviews matter. You know, it's again, it's very evident these days. But here's a few statistics that come up. So, Bright Local did is a online reputation system and local search kind of system, and they did a survey that, and they came up with 84% of people trust an online review as much as a personal recommendation for a friend. I'm going to pause there and let that sink in, because that's crazy, right? We don't know these people that are typing these reviews. We don't know if they're real reviews. We don't know if they're fake reviews, but that's how much we trust the process of reviews online. And 77% of consumers think that reviews over 3 months old aren't relevant, right? So if you're not getting consistent reviews, maybe you did a big push and you got about 20 reviews, got 20, 30 reviews on your thing, and then let's relax. And then all of a sudden there's no reviews, right? that's also going to have a negative impact on what you're doing there. So I'm going to take a little, we're going to deviate a little bit from the slides and talk about, and just go kind of to a live search here. This is the search engine local search engine results page. And this is how Google, of course, displays search results with search queries with commercial intent in the roofing industry. So you see here, this is your Google local service ads. So this is the first, we've been talking about this for a while now. This is a great place to generate leads for your business. But as you can see, reviews matter, right? Your star rating really matters in this area. So this is a first opportunity that reviews are going to really matter for you. Of course, the number one area is going to be this map section. So this is Roofers, Dallas, Texas, that I typed in. And let's take a look at this and just think about human psychology, right? We're always, we come from the, an SEO perspective and pay-per-click perspective, and wanting to be number one, like this Dallas Roofer in the pay-per-click section here, they want to be the first spot gets more clicks, right? DM Magazine they're getting a lot of clicks on this spot because they're number one in here. This map section is what's driving a great amount of calls for roofing contractors these days, right? It's very geographically relevant to the searcher, and the way that the reviews are shown, it really helps people to understand who they're calling, right? So let's look at this section here, and I want to ask you, we got Texas Roofing here with a 5-star rating and 4 reviews. We got Burt Roofing, 4.4 rating, 28 reviews. And we got Roofing Giant with a 4.7 rating and 62 reviews. So I'm going to ask you guys, who would you call, right? We're all a little bit different. Maybe you like the smaller company and that's attractive to you. Maybe this person is 5 stars. Maybe that would attract you. This person has 4.7, 4.4. Who would you call? So Anna says Roofing Giant. That's probably who I would call too. Notice that they're in the 3rd spot, right? They're in the 3rd spot in this section. They're not number 1. So you can, almost manipulate the psychology of people calling you, right? If you have better reviews and you have more reviews, you are going to be the person getting more calls. So of course you have to be here. You have to be here first, right? You have to be here first to be able to get that call. But once you make it here, you better be able to compete with the other people in that area, right? So, Texas Roofing did a great job. They're ranking number 1 in the map pack for Roofers, Dallas, Texas. What a competitive term, right? But I bet they're not getting as many phone calls as Roofing Giant. So that's how we can really, that's a really important part of the review process. So of course, Google reviews are mission critical. They're extremely critical to the success of your business online.
And going back to that slide real quick, or whatever you were just showing, what was that stat that you had said? All 5-star reviews isn't as trustworthy as.
Yeah, that's another thing that we found. I didn't put it in the slides today, but there's another psychology to this that people with all 5-star reviews, people think that that's fake, right? Most people don't. So really the sweet spot in reviews, they've done studies on this, the sweet spot in reviews is between a 4.3 and a 4.8. Once you get above 4.8, and that's not really as important with someone with 4 reviews, right? Yeah, you could get 4 people to give you a 5-star review. But once you get up into like the 62 reviews, 80 reviews, 100 reviews, 200 reviews, 300 reviews, if you saw someone, a roofing contractor online that had 253 reviews and they were all 5-star, be a little fishy, right? Really? 250 people? No one gave you 4 stars? Like not one person? So even that is extremely important. Good point, Brian. Thanks for bringing that up. So mission critical, man. This is how you generate the reviews online. And here is, here's how that works. This is an example of that.
Yeah, and you can see that, Prominent is a client of ours that they do pretty well when it comes to Google Maps. They're typically in that top 3. But you can see they had, just this 1 month, they had 88 calls directly from their Google My Business listing. And that's primarily because they do very well with reviews. They have close to 100 reviews. They're like a 4.7 rating or something like that. Those stacked up against, some of their competition, they do a lot better than them. So that's
Yep.
where a lot of their calls come from, and it's a primary, driver of a lot of their leads.
Primary driver of a lot of business, right? Prominent Construction hit the Inc. 5000 list, and did 5.5 million last year in revenue, and they expect to exceed that and potentially hit 8 million this year was their goal. So, this is a primary driver of that business. So, let's talk a little bit about why they're mission critical, right? First thing, Brian can speak to this a little bit, is they impact your Google rankings.
Mm-hmm. That has been studied, and that there's definitely a correlation between ranking in that map pack and having great reviews. Yep.
So 88% of consumers look at online reviews, and of course, what we were talking about a little bit before, and I don't want to get redundant on you, but I do want to talk about the point. It's a major conversion factor, for your business. So let's talk about the why, right? Why is controlling and managing your online reviews critical to you, right? So what we're talking about here is controlling and managing your online reviews. So we're not just going out here just hoping, right? Hoping for reviews. Processes are what makes success, right? And throughout these processes, we're gonna talk about some five key principles to the process of generating reviews online. So the first one, of course, the number one thing that you can do or your business can do to generate online reviews is provide a world-class customer experience, right? Sounds simple, right? Sounds simple, but being cognitive of that at every part of the sales process, right? Making sure that you understand what providing the best customer experience from the person who answers the phone when the lead calls in, to scheduling the appointment, to confirming the appointment, a phone call to confirm the appointment, right? The salesperson going out there, giving them the best experience and the best knowledge of what the issues are with their roof and the best way to resolve those issues, all the way through the build and beyond that. It's providing the world-class customer experience. That's your first opportunity, right? The first key principle in the process of generating reviews online.
And I'll add a note to that. I think we review a lot of roofing companies. We work with a lot of roofing companies, and I think one of the primary sources of negative reviews, or when they actually happen, is usually in that what Jim was talking about, that initial appointment, maybe not showing up on time, or just no communication. That I see more often than not. There's a lot of negative reviews just because of that. It's not even after the job's done. It
has nothing to do with the build. It has everything to do with how you treated the customer up front, how responsive you were. That's a great point. That is the most negative reviews that we see, for sure, 100%. They didn't show up when they said they were going to show up. Right?
I took off early from work, and
that's right. Yeah, these people take time out of their day to be home for you, for the salesperson to get out there. That's the biggest part there, for sure. So you want to build online reviews and reputation management into your company culture. And we're going to talk about this a little bit more a little bit later in this and give you some good ideas on how to do this. But man, everybody has to be on board. Every single person in your company, from the person who answers the phone, as I mentioned, to the field guys, to the crews doing the build, everybody has to be on board with trying to generate that review for your business. So it's part of the company culture. Another thing that, you know, what gets measured and gets celebrated, you get more of. So as you make this a part of the company culture, you can celebrate this and measure it. Hey, how many reviews did we get this month? What's our goal for reviews this month? You know we have 10 builds this month. How many reviews can we get from those 10? Can we get 7 out of 10 this month? That's a way to, you know, measure that success. And then here's where, right? Once you have put together a process for a great customer experience, once you have put the company culture in place to generate to be asking for the review, now it's time to leverage the best-in-class type of review request software, reputation management software that lets you email and text people and even do reviews physically right in front of people. All of those things are going to help you in that regard. And then the last part that gets overlooked over and over and over is to acknowledge and respond to these people. So a lot of times we respond to a negative review, right? Hey, wasn't us, we didn't do that. Hey, we were on time. You said we're not on time. We were on time with this. Hey, it rained. We couldn't, you know, it rained, you know, at the beginning of the build. We couldn't get out there that day. We had to reschedule. Whatever the issue was, we always respond to those, right? We're inclined to justify, hey, we did our part. What we don't respond to are the good reviews, right? Hey, you know, XYZ Roofing came out here, they did an amazing job. You know, this person was so good and that person was so good. I'd highly recommend them. Crickets, right? No response from us. You know that those people get notified when you do that, right? So that you responding to them, hey, thanks a lot, I appreciate it. It was great working with you. You know, hope you have fun on your vacation, right? You know, because you got to know them a little bit. Things like that, all of that personal stuff. Now, when the next person comes along and they're reading these reviews, and they're reading not just the great review, but the response that you gave that review, that adds a whole nother, just another level to this process. So let's talk about this now. What are in the companies that you guys work for or work in or own, what has been implemented, and what of those 5 principles, what do you think could be, you know, worked on more first? What should be worked on more first in your company? Company culture, for sure. The company culture, replying to all reviews, as well as actually pushing for reviews, right? If you don't ask, you don't get what you don't ask for, right? That's what, you know, Kayla, you definitely don't get what you don't ask for. And that's a big thing. You know, we gotta ask, right? We have to make sure that we're asking. And so to capturing positive reviews, you know, you look at these companies that have done a great job here, you know, 5 stars, 144 reviews, 4.4, 28 reviews, you know, 4.8, 133 reviews. This Clear Choice here, I mean, they're doing a great job, but it does seem a little fishy to me that they have 144 5-star reviews. So you definitely want to capture positive reviews for your customer. Let's move into the strategies, right? So let's move into the strategies. So the first thing is, we want to leverage tools to request a review after every build, right? Definitely after. But you don't have to just request it afterwards, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about that in the future. Garen said he likes setting a goal to see how many reviews he could get in a month. That's a great idea. Thank you. Thanks for that. Maybe pizza for the office if we get 10 this month, right? Things like that. We're going to go through some ideas for developing that review culture in a little bit here. But thanks for that. That's awesome. So see, here's some ideas. So first, you're leveraging the tools to request a review after every build, potentially leaving a printed review card, right? Or on the back of the business card, having a place for someone to review, maybe a QR code that they can scan, a website that they can go to, a direct link to a website that they can go to review you. Train your salespeople to plant the seed, right? So, hey, if we do a good job for you today, can I count on you to leave us a review? It really helps our business. Simple as that, right? Can I count on you? Did a podcast recently with a gentleman down in Dallas who has implemented this extremely well in his business, hundreds of reviews. And that's what he said. Can I count on you? And everyone along the line is asking this customer, can I count on you for a review if we do a great job for you? And just planting that seed all the way through. And so make a phone call after the completion to walk them through the review process. There are systems out there like Guild Quality. You've probably heard of Guild Quality. They do this for you. What we don't like about Guild Quality is that they funnel the reviews to Guild Quality versus to your Google My Business listing, which we believe is the most important place to have your reviews. But Guild Quality has this great process afterwards that they send an email with a survey. They make a phone call if the person doesn't fill out the survey. So you can implement this strategy in your office to help generate more reviews. Again, like we said, building a company culture into your company, and then leveraging email, leveraging SMS, text messaging, and apps for maximum effect. And so some of these systems that are out there that you may or may not have heard of are Grade.us, ReviewBuzz, Birdeye, Podium. What are any of you using any of these systems, and which ones are you using? Someone said Podium. Podium's good. Podium's good. Podium, yep, 2 Podiums. Birdeye. Birdeye is good. We don't like their local listing platform. So we like the review side of things that we like, but we really don't like them controlling your local listings. We've LinkUp. Darren said he likes LinkUp. Anna says they use GeoJuice. So there's a ton of these out there, right? Find one that's best for you. Find one that has a good price point for you. Find one that has the features that you want, and that's the best thing to do there. So let's show you. We use Grade.us. We provide our clients with Grade.us. So I'll let Brian kind of walk through here. Let me see if I can give you mouse control, and let me know if you can have if you got mouse control there, Brian. Probably have to accept it. There you go. Looks like you got it. So this is Grade.us. This is the system that we use with our clients. So Brian will walk you through just the key features that you want to look for in a software like this, in a service like this.
Yeah, and to go back on the previous slide with all the different types of review software, and all of you that said that you're using something different, that's fine. I mean, to be honest, they're all pretty much the same. As long as they, get the job done and you're using them for the advantage of getting the reviews, that's really what they should be used for. But so Grade.us, we've been using them for a while. It works great for our clients. Each client gets their own, basically like their own landing page. So I don't know, Jim, if you can pull that up. It's very, very simple.
Yep, let me do that.
This is pretty common with all software. I mean, maybe all of you there.
Grade.us/prominent.
Yeah, Prominent Construction, I think.
Let me go back and see what their URL is. I think it's on here somewhere.
I'm curious though, if everyone that's using, Podium, LinkUp, do they provide you with a little website landing page where you can send clients to, or did they implement it on your own website? There's all sorts of different options that that
I'll
they
just bring up
provide.
Roofs for Life for now, just to show it.
So, I mean, it's very simple, but that's the whole point of it. It's supposed to be simple because the only option for the customer is literally just select 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 stars. If you click on, say, 5 stars, you know, it pops up with, in this case, Roofs for Life opted to do either Google, which is their primary, where they prefer people to leave reviews, but sometimes people, you know, have better access to Facebook, so they can also leave a review on Facebook. It'll take them straight to the page, and they can you know, quickly leave the review. It's very simple, and it works, and it converts well. So that's the URL that you can send people to the website. It's gray.us and their client name. We can also integrate it with their site, but you know, it doesn't really matter as long as you're sending them to a page to easily leave a review.
Yeah,
On the
Karen
back
said
end,
LinkUp has a landing page like that.
yeah,
And sends emails. All these tools are
they're pretty
very
convenient.
similar in functionality.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gray.us has the capabilities of, you know, you can send the emails and you can do the text messages, and you can do, you know, printable business cards that you can pass out with the QR codes that Jim mentioned. And
Here's
then
there.
also, you know, there's also client and staff forms where you can have them fill out a form to quickly allow them to get a review request. So it's all pretty cool. The emails, what I would highly recommend everyone does, and most of the software is going to do this, is it's going to provide like an email, what's called an email drip campaign. So it's basically a templated email campaign that you can modify. But what it'll do is it'll send out that initial request as soon as you upload the customer's information. And it'll say, you know, do you have a moment to review us? It would be great if you could review us. You know, you can personalize it, and then it gives them a link to click over, and you know, allows them to leave the review. If they don't leave one within the next 3 days, they'll get a follow-up request that kind of reminds them again and again, and then finally, you know, 7 days later, they'll get a final request. And you could do this for for months if you wanted to.
You can keep adding emails.
Yeah, but
Yep.
you know, we do typically a 3-set sequence, because that's usually enough. You don't want to annoy the customers also. But so emails are great, but you know, like Jim mentioned earlier in the slides, people get a lot of emails. People get busy. Their inboxes are flooded. You know, I know people that have thousands of emails in their inbox, and they never get to them. So these days, you know, the best way to do it is text message. Everybody has a phone. Everybody gets text messages. So, you know, you can do the same thing with text messages as long as you have their information. You know, you can send them a quick request. It says, hey, you know, again, thanks for choosing us. We'd love it if you left us a review. You can also do a drip campaign with the text. So if they don't respond, you can do the same thing and, you know, send them a couple other text messages as well. So
one thing that's nice about text messages is a lot of times people are logged into Google already on their phone.
it's true.
So when they go to the landing page for it, it's a real easy way to generate that review. So
Yep. So I mean, the features are pretty simple. I mean, and then also they give you the ability to the print card, and then you know, to print out business cards, or flyers or anything with the URL, which is, you know, very helpful. And then we also have the ability to embed all of these reviews onto the website, which again, most of these review softwares will allow you to do that. But you know, as long as you have something that does all these features, you know, that's really all you need. There shouldn't be any more additional features that you need. You know, if you're using it appropriately and you're using it often, it's going to work for your company. And it also allows you, if you have like what we like to do with a lot of our clients when we first onboard them, is get a list of some of their past customers that they may have, or even you know, some customers that they know that, you know, they can trust, or maybe they just never asked for a review. We can upload that list from like an Excel spreadsheet, and we can kind of drip these email and text message campaigns to them. And these could be customers from, you know, 6 months ago to a year, you know, and we can just start to move that the needle on their reviews on their Google My Business.
try and pick a couple more up.
Yep.
So
Overall, pretty simple. But if you have access to software like this, use it to your advantage.
So now let's talk about how to respond to reviews, right? So the first thing you want to do is put a system in place to ensure that every review gets tracked and measured. A lot of times we just don't know, that there was a new review if we're not in our Google My Business listing account, if we're not watching those notifications, stuff like that. So make sure that, it's maybe specific time sequences that we're going in there and checking that and making sure. And then making sure that someone on the team is tasked with this job, right? That, hey, you are responsible for, so-and-so is responsible for responding to every review, good, bad, and indifferent, right? And, maybe if they're not the owner of the company, that maybe hey, this one was a little tough, how should I respond? But most of the time that, the person in charge can just go right on through and respond to those accordingly, and formulate a strategy for professionally addressing and dealing with negative reviews, right? That's the tough part. A lot of times we can get a little emotional in responding to negative reviews, right? Because we know we did a great job for these people, but maybe for some reason that was out of our control or something like that, it might it might get emotional. So making sure we have a professional manner in that, professional way of addressing that. Here's one of our clients. He does a great job of responding to every single one of his reviews. And so you can see here, had to do a repair and replace a roof on the property. Thanks, Tracy, for taking a moment to share that with us. As a local business, we truly care about our customers and their homes. If you ever need us again, we would be glad to help. Edward M., owner, right? Same thing here. It was a pleasure working with you also. If you need any assistance, please call us. And we always answer the phone, right? So the things that you're communicating to these in response to these reviews, think about people reading it, right? Ed saying, hey, please call us anytime. As we answer the phone. How many roofers that that, in your area don't answer the phone? Guarantee it's a lot of them, right? So having, making sure that you're putting those types of things in there. So now let's talk a little bit about some creative ways to ask for reviews, right? One creative way, and love to get your guys' input as we're going through this. If you guys think of anything, have any ideas, throw them in the chat. Making it personal, right? Maybe you send a little thank you card out with a Starbucks gift card that says, hey, we hope you had a great experience with us. Hope that you had a great experience with us. If you haven't, you told us up front that we could count on you for a review. Hope you get a chance to do that, right? Stuff like that, but making it personal card. The emails are good too. The emails get personalized, but finding ways to make it, personal to the client, handwritten notes, things like that could go a long way in that. Another thing that might be easy to, if you're aware of the platform that they use. So maybe you're running a campaign on Facebook for, hail damage or something like that, and their lead came in, that they came in through one of those Facebook campaigns. Asking them to respond on Facebook, because that they're a Facebook user, right? And so in being a Facebook user might be a path of least resistance, right? The path of least resistance is what you want to get with this. So being aware of the platform that they used, to come to you. If they came through a Google AdWords campaign, they're a Google user, boom, get them, push them to Google. Asking at every stage. So the podcast interview that I did with Adam Butorf down in Dallas with a renowned construction, renowned roofing. Man, his process of asking at every stage amazes me. It's like if you call in to set an appointment, they're asking for a review, like every stage of the process. If you call in to ask what time the crews are going to be there, they're asking for a review. They're asking for a review at every stage of the process. If they're not asking for a review, they're planting that seed about a review. So asking at every stage, planting that seed at every stage, but then watching for peak customer happiness, right? This is another thing to watch out for. So when is your client most happy with your service? Is it the second that the yard is cleaned up, the roll-off's gone? When is the customer at peak happiness with the job that you've done with them? And if that's the case, you're watching for that peak customer happiness, that's the time to ask for that review. So watching for peak customer happiness, and then creating an employee rewards program. Garen made a good point a little earlier in the chat about, hey, let's get to 10 reviews and I'll buy lunch for buy pizza for the office, stuff like that. So here are some ways to incentivize employees, right? Well, that was a good idea of lunch, hey, we'll buy the whole office lunch, right? But maybe the person who generated the most reviews gets taken to maybe a little nicer lunch with the owners, right? Maybe they just get a gift card to take their wife or husband or spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is, out to a nice dinner. Here's another big one: time off, right? Maybe incentivize your employees. The person with the most reviews or something like that gets a half a day on Friday or something like that. Incentivize them with time off, an extra day of paid leave, for the added to their PTO, something like that. So time off is another great way of incentivizing your employees. The gift of time, right? This is another just a different way of looking at that. Maybe paying someone to mow their lawn, right? Clean their house, do their laundry, something like that gives them a little bit of additional time to go out and enjoy time with the family or whatever they're thinking of doing. We're the champions, right? So people can be very competitive. Maybe your salespeople are extremely competitive, and maybe you could create some kind of a trophy that you have, that the person with the most reviews every month gets that trophy, and they get bragging rights, and maybe something else that comes along with it on top of that. But something like that. And then so in something like that, make sure that you have your people asking the reviewer to put their name into the review. Also, maybe some kind of a subscription service, a Dollar Shave Club, a Wine of the Month Club, something else that's kind of an ongoing thing that might be nice for your employees in that regard. So this is, those are some ideas on how to build your reputation and help incentivize that and bring that into your company culture, right? That's what we're trying to do here, is bring it into your company culture, use the best tools available to you to make the process as automated as possible, and then just building those reviews. So, this is again part of our digital dominance method. It's an ongoing series that we do all year. You could go back on our YouTube channel, go to YouTube and search for Roofer Marketers and find more videos, some of our past webinars that are in this sequence if you missed out on any. You can go to our website, roofermarketers.com, for training guides on a lot of this material. And so, in wrapping up today, I know that this may become overwhelming to some people, and so if you ever want to have a conversation about how we can help you out with your digital marketing efforts, with building your reputation online, feel free to schedule a lead acceleration session with me. Call us directly at 855-799-1252, or you could go to roofermarketers.com/apply for that. And in that, we could really walk through your what you're doing with your digital marketing efforts, how you're doing with your SEO, your pay-per-click, how your Google My Business listing is looking, what your reputation is looking like online, your social media. We could really walk through a lot of that with you and answer any questions that you might have, and maybe make some suggestions and then suggestions about how we would do things and show you what we would do differently. So if you'd like to do that, schedule a call with us directly, 855-799-1252, or check out roofermarketers.com/apply to schedule that online. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to do this with us, and we'll talk to you soon.